Welcome back to Tvedestrand, Norway and the World 2-litre Offshore Powerboat Championships, when it's time to remind ourselves what a beautiful country this is, and to remember that going into the final heat of the competition, it will be an Italian-Norwegian affair for the title. Baroni needs to win, and should he do so, Skanke must finish at least third to stay in front. Well, once again it was 26 boats ready to go, and once again let's enjoy one of the great sights of world power sports, the start. Today's course of 53.6 nautical miles started just yards from the town centre. Then it was down the fjord, out into the open sea to a mark 5 miles west of the Mokkalasset lighthouse. Then it was back to another turn 3 miles east of the lighthouse and a return to the fjord and back to the town centre for the second and final lap. A testing route with plenty at stake. And testing conditions too. Tuesdays and Thursdays' mirror flat racing surface had been replaced by increasing swells, and the further out to sea you went, the greater the risks. A lesson quickly learnt by Staffen Eriksson in C5. This pace was a little too hot for the Argo, and they paid the price. One hard way too many, and the boat broke up. Well, that was a chance for the rest, although here there was no sign of Skanke or Baroni. However, it was a stage the monohulls had been waiting for. This was Runes number 40 in 5th, followed by Olsen 636. With Tiblin 87, Levin 47 and Sodlin 68 just ahead. But for everyone, and especially the catamarans, it was certainly going to be a tough day. But in spite of all those roughening conditions, it was a cat that reached the halfway turn first. Extra prop testing by Odegaard had paid off. Maybe he should have done it earlier in the week. Mind you, Frody had let him off the hook, having once again gone wide on the run-in. But he still left himself with a chance, right behind in conditions much more suited to his driving style and boat design. Well, in spite of his mechanical gremlins, Halvorsen was third, with Pekkanen 4 seconds adrift in fourth. And as they made their way into the last lap, it emerged the championship leaders were in all sorts of bother. Skanke and Moller, C71, remember they led by 200 points, were out. And Baroni and Beltrani, who needed at least a third, were well off the pace in 5th. And in fairness, with just 28 miles to go, it looked a lost cause. Especially with Jonsberg 88 threatening to dump them into 6th. But all that was of little consequence to Odegaard. A win in the final heat would guarantee bronze, a glittering reward after such a poor start in the competition. And it was also of little consequence to Frode. Even if he passed Odegaard, he still wouldn't make the podium. But it was at least the opportunity to show his new racing thoroughbred does work. And justice was still being done in third, a just reward for the Halversons' preparation, although they later dropped back to 6. And that at least was good news for the Flying Italians, who moved up to 4th. But even that was not good enough for gold. It had to be 3rd, and they would have to risk all in their late customary surge. Well, to many it looked like a lost cause. Remember, Odegaard was well clear. Frode, with his rough water capabilities, looked invincible in 2nd, while Pekkanen, in bronze position before the race, was busy trying to repair the damage inflicted on his medal chances by Odegaard's lead. Well, all in all, it was a mountain to climb for the Italian team, and more importantly, there was now very little time in which to do it. It was therefore with a great deal of surprise that with less than 5 miles to go, while Pekkanen was desperately trying to get past Frode, Baroni crashed his way past the lot, and not content with 3rd, moved into 2nd. This was a stunning piece of driving from the Italian. With a glint of gold in his eye, he began to pull away. And all Frode and the rest could do was sit back and admire the skill. Well, that's the way it stayed, with Odegaard celebrating his first victory of the championship and leapfrogging above Pekkanen into bronze. While 100 yards behind, Baroni and Beltrami had achieved the impossible. 3 second places, 900 points, and the World Championship. Michael Frode's 3rd place in the last race was an encouraging start for his literally brand new boat. But there was never any doubt where the celebrations were going to be. And although at times Beltrami and Baroni looked a little stunned by their success, there was no question they'd done it the hard way. Well, following a customary friendly Norwegian welcome back, Baroni spoke about their success.
La gara è incominciata sotto il nostro favore.
At the end of the first lap, we were a 5th, and we didn't expect to win. We knew that Skanke and Moller had broken down, but we still had to finish 3rd, and that was hard. Fortunately, our boat went well in the rough on lap 2, and we moved past Pekkanen and Frode. It was a great race, and we are on top of the world.
Avremmo potuto anche arrivare primi, ma non serviva per vincere il mondiale.
The engine went wet today because we was traveling about a half an hour on low speed, so it turns wet and it doesn't work more than 5 cylinders. So we couldn't do anything about it at that time.
How do you feel just at the moment, sort of half hour after the race, 2nd place overall, but so close?
Fed up.
And rightly so. Skanke and Moller's failure to appear on the final scorecard told the story, and 3 seconds were good enough for the Italians. Frode's 3rd wasn't quite good enough either for bronze, and neither was Pekkanen's 4th. Overall then, it was 900 points out of a possible 1200 that took the gold, and in the end, all Skanke and Moller required was a 5th. Odegaard was happy though. 1st was good enough for 3rd. And that's it from Tvedestrand. More action from Offshore in 2 weeks as we catch up with Class 1 in Guernsey. And it's time for us to take another break. More powerboat action with the Powerboat Super League, plus a snippet of windsurfing in a couple of minutes.